Education 1030 students, happy Halloween if you're watching this on Friday or after, maybe happy November. So, this week you are going to be working in Module 7, which is Understanding Civility and Cultural Competence. You will be reading out of Chapter 9. Now, even though it says Module 7 and we just came out of Module 6, we are going to be reading a different chapter than that. So, it's going to be actually Chapter 9 that you're reading. So, please read that. You are going to have your Module 7 quiz. That's due on the 6th of November. And then you also are going to be completing a discussion board. So, a discussion board is how I'm going to be grading you this week in addition to your quiz. So, there is a worksheet. When you click on microaggression rewrite for discussion board prompt, when you click on it, it's going to bring a worksheet up. Now, I do not want you to submit the worksheet and attach it to the discussion board, but I do want you to complete it. That way you can post and answer questions. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So you're going to use in chapter 9, there's a table called 9.2 microaggressions. You're going to look at those. And what I want you to do is there are 7 categories, okay? And I want you to choose at least one microaggression in each of the 7 categories. So you'll have 7. And you're going to write a short description from the perspective of a person who is the one that's being targeted of the microaggressions. And then you're going to think about why they would find this statement offensive and what they would like to be acknowledged for. So I did give you an example. This is from the category educational status or situation. Now, under each category, there's going to be more than one microaggression, right? So you're only going to pick one of those microaggressions and then you're going to write a perspective description. Okay, so if you go into your table 9.2, you will see that under each category there will be 3 microaggressions. And then what we're going to do is in the column in the textbook, the table gives you why that was an offensive statement. And so then you would look at the perspective of the person who's the target of the microaggression. And you really need to think about why they would find that offensive. And you would do that for 7 of the categories. So each of the categories. And then when you click on the discussion board itself, you're going to see that it's not the same as what you just did, but you still have to use that worksheet to help you complete this. Okay, so your first step is going to be completing the worksheet, the table, using table 9.2, and then you're going to think about these discussion questions. Okay, now this could be something that maybe didn't happen to you, or maybe it did, or maybe it happened to someone that you know of. Okay, so what you're going to do is just answer these questions. Remember, you don't have to attach the worksheet with it, but you do need to reply to at least 2 of your peers. Okay, so that will be the homework for Module 7. The other thing I really want to talk to you about is getting you started on your career job readiness module. Now, we've been working with exploring the field. And in the career job readiness module, you've already completed your focus to career, you got your assessments, but I want you to look at there's other components that you'll be working on in this, okay? The first step was doing the focus to career. Now what we have to do is we need to start working on the rest of the pieces for our portfolio. So what's going to be included in your portfolio? Well, you're going to have a personal mission statement. You're going to have a resume, a cover letter. You were going to have mock interview feedback, which I will do a separate video about that next week, and then a LinkedIn account. Okay. Now, you'll look here, there is a worksheet that's going to be underneath Focus to Career. And what that worksheet is, it wants you to go back to your Focus to Career and log in, and it wants you to choose 3 of the suggested careers that Focus to Career gave you. And what I want you to do is I want you to respond to these prompts. So you're going to list 3 of those suggested careers that would be the most interesting to you. Now, as I've mentioned before, the focus to career may not have your job that you are majoring in listed, and that's okay. But from that list it gave you, from your results, I want you to pick 3 of them and tell me why you think that would interest you. Okay. And then that will be put in Dropbox, and it will go underneath the exploring the field. Excuse me, not exploring the field, job readiness. So there's a job readiness section here. There's 2 separate drop boxes. You'll see that that career interest worksheet is due on November 20th, and then your portfolio, which I just mentioned, all of the things like your cover letter, your resume, your personal mission statement, all of that is going to be submitted to this Dropbox, which will end on November 30th. And you're thinking, I've got time. I don't need to work on that right now. We're already in November or about to be, depending on when you're watching this. And it's going to take time to get these things together and work on them to produce quality work. Okay. So, what I want you to do is go into the career job readiness module, and I want you to look at all of these all of these in here, and I want you to look and start going through and reading it yourself, like what is a personal mission statement, and going into that one. um, and then start writing and focusing on it. I want you to go through and look at each of the parts of the portfolio, right? How do we create a resume and cover letter? And look at that. I also want you to search for a template for resumes, right? And then I want you to think about a template, how you could pick one for maybe a cover letter. So you need to go and look at that. So you're going to go through each of the things about what to dress for a job interview. Um, it goes through different sorts of things for you for your job. So I want you to start going through this. I will do a separate video, but I just wanted to kind of let you know that after Module 7, this is where we're going. So please be sure that you are working on that. Another thing is, since we are in our last unit, you will need to start thinking about what video, exploring the field video reflection, that you would like to do for your last one. So just be thinking about that as well. All right, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope if you are watching this on Halloween that you had a safe, happy Halloween. And if you are in November, welcome to November. We only have a few weeks left, so let's finish strong. Until next time, take care.